Picture this. You close the bathroom door and your dog is already there, sitting in the hallway like that spot was reserved just for them. No barking, no panic, no chaos, just quiet, patient watching. Most people think it means one of two things. Your dog has separation anxiety, or your dog loves you too much. But that's not the real story. And once you hear it, you won't look at this behavior the same way again. Because for more than 20 years, researchers studying dogs have uncovered something far more interesting. Your dog may not be following you out of weakness at all. They may be doing it because in their mind, you are the safest point in the world to stay connected to. If that surprised you, comment 1. And this is where the story changes. In scientific literature, dogs that follow their owners from room to room have a name: Velcro dogs. And at first that label sounds like a diagnosis, like something went wrong and this clingy behavior is the result. But the science points somewhere very different. In 2013, researchers at the Clever Dog Lab in Vienna ran a simple but revealing experiment. They gave dogs a food puzzle the dogs couldn't easily solve on their own, then changed just one thing: whether the owner was in the room. When the owner stayed, the dogs stayed with the puzzle longer. They kept exploring, kept trying, kept putting effort into something that wasn't immediately rewarding. But when the owner left, that persistence dropped. The dogs pulled back. Then the researchers tested another possibility. Maybe any human presence would create the same effect. So they placed a stranger in the room instead. But it didn't work. The extra motivation disappeared. No boost, no real change. The effect was tied specifically to the owner. And that reframes everything. Your dog may not be following you because it can't cope without you. It may be following you because your presence makes the world feel easier to handle, more stable, more possible. Researchers call this the secure base effect. It's similar to how a child explores more confidently when a parent is nearby, not because the child is weak, but because safety creates courage. So that dog outside your bathroom door may not be fragile at all. It may simply feel more ready with you close. And here's the detail most people miss. Even dogs with no separation anxiety showed the same pattern. This wasn't a symptom of something broken. It was a normal part of the bond. But the secure base effect is only part of the story. There's another reason your dog keeps following you, and once you see it, the behavior looks almost impossible to unsee. When dogs run into something unfamiliar, an odd sound, a strange object, someone new at the door, they often do something automatic. They look back at you. Researchers at the University of Milan studied this directly, using a fan covered in green streamers, then watched how 75 dogs responded. After noticing the fan, 83% of the dogs turned to look at their owner. And what happened next is what really matters. They changed their behavior based on the owner's facial expression. If the owner looked positive, the dog moved closer. If the owner looked negative, the dog held back or moved away. Animal cognition researchers call this referential looking. Your dog is using you as a live source of information while trying to figure out the world. And a companion study from the same research group found something even more important. Dogs don't just glance at their owners, they actually adjust. What they do based on the emotional message they receive. 2 separate papers. Same conclusion. That makes the pattern even stronger. Now think about what that means physically. In order to check your reaction, your dog has to be able to see you. So all that shadowing from room to room, all that waiting at the doorway, may not be clinginess at all. It may be positioning. Your dog is keeping visual access to its most trusted information source. Every time it gets up because you moved it, may be doing something very simple and very smart. Staying close enough to consult you when the world becomes uncertain. And here's where it gets even more revealing. In homes with more than one person, dogs almost always follow one human more than the others. Usually it's not random. It's the person who works from home, grabs the leash, opens the fridge, or starts the routines that lead to something meaningful. Research suggests this isn't just affection. It's prediction. Dogs pay closest attention to the person whose movements most reliably signal that something important is about to happen. So when you walk from the kitchen to the hallway, your dog may not be following your body at all. It may be following probability, the chance that you are about to become the center of the next important moment. And in unfamiliar places, this behavior becomes even easier to spot. A 2024 study from the Clever Dog Lab found that dogs will often copy their caregiver's unnecessary steps even, when they already know a shorter, more efficient path. Mackey and Huber found this happened even in dogs that had done the task before. Why? Because when the environment feels new and the rules aren't clear, dogs don't just choose efficiency, they choose guidance. Staying close and copying the person who seems to know the way is not submission. It's intelligent uncertainty management. And here's the part that makes all of this even harder to dismiss: none of it is accidental. In 2017, researchers at Princeton identified structural variants in 2 genes, found in domestic dogs, GTF2I and GTF2IRD1. And what makes that finding so striking is not just what these genes do in dogs, but where else they appear. In humans, deletions involving these same genes are associated with Williams-Buren syndrome, a condition marked by extreme sociability, a powerful drive to approach and connect with other people, and an unusual lack of the caution that normally keeps distance in place. In clinical terms, it's a genetic bias toward human connection. Wolves don't carry these variants. Dogs do. And that changes the way we should read what people call Velcro behavior. The tracking, the closeness, the urge to follow you the moment you disappear around a corner may not be mainly about training or puppyhood or something that went wrong early on. Those things still matter, but at a measurable genetic level. This behavior is part of what dogs are. It was shaped over thousands of years of selection, not just for survival or hunting, but for staying near humans and finding that nearness rewarding. Your dog follows you because in some deep biological sense it was built to, but there's one distinction that changes everything. Because not every dog that follows you everywhere has a problem. Most Velcro dogs are completely fine. In fact, in 2006, researchers at Tufts University found something that surprised even people in veterinary behavioral medicine. Dogs with clinically diagnosed separation anxiety did not spend more time near their owners at home than dogs without it. That means following behavior and separation anxiety are not the same thing. They can overlap, but following alone is not a diagnosis. Here's the difference. A Velcro dog can still relax. It may follow you when it has the option, but it can also settle in another room, rest when you're home, and stay emotionally stable when that connection is briefly interrupted. A dog with a clinical anxiety issue is different. It can't truly disengage. Catching up to you doesn't calm the urgency. Even a separation of a few seconds can trigger distress, and instead of easing, that anxiety builds. So these are two very different patterns happening in two very different nervous systems. One is about attachment. The other is about dysregulation that needs real attention. If your dog follows your footsteps through the house but sleeps peacefully, when you step away, that is not a broken dog. That is a dog doing exactly what thousands of years beside humans shaped it to do. So the next time your dog is sitting outside the bathroom door, don't read it as neediness too quickly. What's really happening is far more interesting. Your dog has placed itself at the point of best access to you close enough to hear you, track you, and stay updated on what happens next. Over weeks, months, even years, it has built a map of its world around one central fact. You are the most reliable source of information in that world, and that pull it feels to stay near you. That is not a flaw. It is not damage. It is not proof that something went wrong. Part of it lives deep in the biology of dogs themselves, the same kind of social wiring that, in humans, can create an unusually powerful drive to stay close to the people who matter most. So no, your dog is not following you because it's broken. It's following you because in its mind you are the most useful, most trusted, and most important thing in the environment. That isn't clinginess. That may be the highest compliment animal cognition can give. If this changed how you see your dog, comment, got it. And tell me which person in the house does your dog follow most.